Hello, travelers, wanderers, and pilgrims. Today was not a walking day. I did not walk today. I had a number of things I needed to get done. We're getting very, very close to down to the wire. I leave for Glasgow on the 27th, and I start walking on the 28th. And so I'm trying to get some housekeeping done before I leave. And so I decided not to walk today. What I did do is send a couple of packages off and a bunch of cards off for Christmas to my family, and then I went into downtown Wakefield to do a little bit of shopping. There's a couple of things I needed before I take off. A couple of water bottles. It's good to have water bottles when you're going to be hiking through a countryside. I wanted to share a couple of things that happened to me that, in a way, blow my mind. They're amazing. I mean, really, really, for me, just amazing. There's a place there for those of you that are in America. We have a chain of kind of posting stores where you can go to and post your mail, UPS, FedEx, that sort of thing, called mailboxes, etc., or and other types of stores like that. Well, here I think it's called Postman. It's one store. You can go in and have packages delivered with DHL or General Post and things like that. So Pranesh Patel was the person that helped me. Extremely wonderful man. And we went through we packaged up the packages and got them all ready to go. And I filled out this little label that asked for the sender's address. This is the sender. And then we got to talking. He was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And part of it is because when I put in my card to pay for it, it asked for my signature, and he hadn't seen that before. And I'm like, "Yeah, it's I'm over here, and I want to be able to, verify that something that is charged on my card is something I charged it." So they asked for my signature every time. And we got to talking about America or the United States, and he has a brother in Florida, and what brought me back to the UK, and then I left and I went to go shopping. The one small detail was overlooked. There were addresses on all of the cards, so no problem there. But there were not addresses for the two boxes that needed to go out. The sender's address was there, but not the person to whom the packages were being sent. And oh my gosh, did this man not come all the way down? It's 4 blocks or so, 5 blocks, but he went out of his way to come all the way down to my aunt's house to find me, to get the addresses, and then looks me up on Facebook and sends me a message on Facebook Messenger letting me know that we didn't have the addressee addresses and if I could send them to him. Blow my mind. Where would that ever happen? And I am just... I am beside myself. I am beside myself. If you saw me sitting here, you'd see 2 of me. I'm in awe. I'm in awe of the generosity of this man. I'm in awe of his desire to serve completely. And some of you'll know what I mean by that. To give it 100%. Or to go the extra mile, all those wonderful phrases, and I get to experience it here in Wakefield. The second thing that happened to me while I was out this afternoon, was I went into downtown Wakefield to kind of really just browse the stores that were open because they close early here in England, unlike other areas right before Christmas. They don't stay open until 10 midnight. In England, they don't. They close at like 6 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, I know there's a little bit of judgment there, but there you go. So I walked into this outdoor store, outdoor sporting goods store, camping and snow skiing and snowmobiling, or it's not snowmobiling, but snowboarding and things like that. And I found some water bottles because I needed to get some water bottles for my journey because I didn't have any, and you got to drink water while you're walking, and a couple of other things. And so I went to pay for it, and the same thing. We got into a good conversation because my card asked, once I put the card in, and it asked for me to sign it, and she'd just never seen that before. And we're talking about the United States versus the UK and the differences and all that. And somehow, some way, we get into the conversation about her life and Christmas time. And she divulges that Christmas last year was extremely difficult. She lost her father, and then a month later she lost her husband, and then a couple of weeks later her daughter lost a child, and then a month later she lost an aunt. Her eyes are all glassy. She's doing everything she can to hold it back. She's looking forward to this Christmas because her daughter is pregnant again, or maybe a different daughter, and they're due right now. So the beam of light that came from her eyes was amazing, but the emotions during that conversation were all over the place, up and down, up and down, up and down. There was immense connection between the two conversations, entirely different conversations, entirely different situations, entirely different people. But what I got to experience was the enormity of human beings and their capacity for generosity, their resilience. This is just two conversations. I'm sure there's hundreds of millions of them going on around the world. But I just got to experience two enormous people in my eyes. The resiliency of a woman. I mean, she bought a new place. She couldn't live in the house that her and her husband lived in for good reason. And moved to a different town and bought a house and holed up in it for 6 months. Didn't go anywhere for 6 months. And it's just now coming out of her shell and gets a retail job. And it's just like the strength of this person, having gone through what she went through, and to come out and face the public on a daily basis and smile and help people with their hiking needs or their camping needs or their skiing needs or their glove needs or hat needs or coat needs or whatever it happens to be. And give of herself when internally she's, from what I was experiencing, an emotional roller coaster, yet come to work every day and smile for people. And then there's a man who doesn't know me from anybody. I'm just, I got my American accent. I'm a British guy with an American accent. And here he steps up to the plate and comes all the way to my aunt's house to find me, to get the addresses for the 2 boxes, looks me up on Facebook. The enormity of human beings, the capacity of human beings for generosity and resiliency to do the right thing. I am astonished constantly at and amazed by human beings and how enormous we are, how great we are, how enormous we can be if we just put ourselves out there. We just put ourselves out there and not hide behind anything, not behind a mask or not behind four walls. We just put us out there, how enormous we can be. Maybe that's a part of this journey for me, is to find out how enormous human beings really are in a variety of situations, and to experience human beings fully in all of their generosity and all of their resiliency and all of their hurt, to fully experience human beings around the world. I hope I get to do that. I did it in the United States. I drove for Lyft, as some of you may know, for a couple of years. In a very transitional period for me. And I think I made 12,000 rides in that time period. So, which means I had 12,000 people in my car. And we had massive conversations, massive human beings with all kinds of hurt, with all kinds of joy, with all kinds of resiliency, with all kinds of generosity. Human beings are amazing. We are amazing. Through all of our failures and our faults and our differences and our opinions and all of that stuff, we are amazing. And I love human beings when they're being human. And I got that today in an enormous way. And I'm so blessed to have had that experience just for today. You cannot, I cannot express to you how my heart feels, how big it feels just because of those two moments. And I got to experience them. And I'm just wondering, when you do your day, whether it's this afternoon if you're in the USA, or in the morning if you're in Asia or Australia, or just closing out your day here in Europe, and what are you open to as an experience of being a human being with other human beings? What do your eyes see? What do your ears hear? What do you experience as you engage with other human beings? What are you aware of? What do you think about? I'm asking this because I really want to know. I want to know. Do you see the things that I see? Do you feel the way I feel about other human beings? The enormous love. And human beings are crazy too. Don't get me wrong. There's some darkness out there. But we're all amazing. Every single one of us. I hope you take the opportunity to stop and listen with your heart to the human beings around you that are being the best human beings that they could possibly be right now. With all the knowledge, with all the wisdom, with all the skill sets that they have about being a human being, they're doing the best darn way that they can be. They're being the best human being that they could possibly be right now, given everything that they know. There's no other way that they can be another human being right now. They can only be the human being that they're being right now, with the knowledge and the wisdom and the skill sets that they have to be a human being. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you look at? What does your heart feel when you're with those human beings? When we're with each other, when we're engaging with each other? Do you experience generosity? Do you experience resiliency? Better yet, do they experience generosity when they are with you? And do they experience resiliency when they are with you? Do they experience humility when they are with you? Do they experience love when they are with you? Because human beings, all this life is 7 billion human beings doing the best that we can to be a human being. Think about it. You think about it long enough, judgment will disappear, condemnation will disappear, and criticism will disappear if you think about it long enough. We're all in the same boat. We're all on the same journey, being the best human beings that we could possibly be right now. Because that's all we have is right now. There is no tomorrow. Yesterday is done. It's gone. All we have is right now. And that's it. I'm going to sign off for now. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, whatever time of the day it is, or whatever time of the day it is that you're viewing this. And I love you. I'll talk to you soon.